With Lycia, you can ensure that your program will work with different locales. To have your program translated, you need to prepare a form file, a 4GL file, and a set of localized strings. For this example, we created a contact form and filled it with text fields and spinners. We have also added the menu actions, which will be located in the program's toolbar. Here, there are 3 locales and an extra option for triggering the defaults. The locale that will be displayed to the program user is controlled by one of 3 things: the language settings in the program user's browser, the locale set as a variable in one of the configuration files, or a special function that defines the locale. To provide the localized strings, we have created the localization resource files that contain the original strings as keys and the localized strings as values, 1 file per locale. The names of the program, the 4GL file, and the resource files must be the same. For the resource files, we add the locale indication to the end of the file name, for instance, N_US for the United States English. To retrieve the original strings, we open the form file in the form builder, find the text property of the label element of the form, and open the property editor. This text will be displayed at runtime and can be localized. To make the string available for localization, we add a % and quote marks. In the first line of each localization resource file, we add the name of the file. Then, after the curly bracket, we list all the original and translated strings. The original strings are the ones we have marked with % in the properties. The browser language is the very first thing the program picks up. In case the user's browser language is not among the locales we have covered with the localization files, the text of the label will be displayed as is, with no translation. In our example, the browser's primary language is set to United States English, so the program picks up the N_US locale from an appropriate resource file, and applies it to the label text. As it was mentioned before, there's a way to force a specific locale to the programs by setting an appropriate environment variable. For instance, let's set a German locale and see how it influences the runtime. Now, all the label text strings that have been provided with appropriate localization strings are translated to German. This variable overrides the browser language settings. The third way of setting a locale for the program is using a function. Even if the browser language settings and the environment variable are set to different locales each, the usage of this function will force a certain locale for this program independently from those. As we have assigned the function calls to the toolbar menu items earlier, here's how we call up different localizations for the form, by clicking the assigned buttons. As Lycia low code was created to speed up the 4GL development, it has a set of dialogues made for your convenience, and we have also added a possibility to localize them. To do that, use the translations setting of low code. Ensure a steady future for your 4GL applications with Lycia Development Suite. Visit Querix.com and contact us to embrace a variety of new opportunities. Lycia, 4GL redefined.